As the biggest economy in Africa, Nigeria is well positioned to have one of the major digital economies in Africa. But is that really the case? And if it isn't, how then can we grow the Nigeria's digital space? Well, joining me now to discuss the potentials that are inherent in the Nigeria's digital economy and how we can harness the potentials and grow that sector is a professor of digital economy, and he is Professor Chukwuemeka Ifegwu Eke. Thank you, Prof, for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I think it's only right we begin with a recap. The year 2023 just ended. Okay. This is a new year. The budget has been signed and approved by the president. A lot of talks around growth. And one of the sectors I personally believe can be harnessed if the right effort or right amount of effort is put into is the digital economy. But let's talk a bit on the 2023 a recap of the 2023, the year 2023. How, from your own point of view, would you say that sector fared? Seeing that we saw quite a lot play out in that sector in the year 2023.
Okay, so far, it was an interesting year, overshadowed by election and electioneering issues, but going forward, the sector is supposed to be our highest income earning sector, and it has all the potentials post rebasing the economy. Notwithstanding, I know that in any country whatsoever, once you have election in a particular year, a lot of things, especially in developing countries, a lot of things get to be constrained just to allow the hula baloo that comes with electioneering pass. The sector took a knock because of INEC, and because we trusted that ICT should be able to deliver a perfect election, quote and unquote, but notwithstanding, it's still robust.
Okay, let's talk a bit on policies that shaped that industry in the year 2023. There was a significant shift, I should say, to AI. Quite a number. The iDice, which was launched to support tech and creative sectors. And then there was also the 5% telecom tax that was suspended. There was a lot, really. And we also did see quite a number of startups, tech startups, attract seed capitals from venture capitalists. So from your point of view, generally, the sectoral, speaking on the policy side, and for startups as well, that we also saw the Nigeria Startup Act, which was signed into law. So all of this put together, away from the election which held. How would you say all of this formed the digital economy to the point it is in now?
Okay. For the benefit of hindsight, let me come up with a particular track we should think about. The development of the GSM was, it was catalyzed by the government, just a policy, but in terms of the development was private sector led. Yes, I said the election cast some shadow over the sector because it was like, look, we're not ready for the explosion, but actually we are. But haven't seen the policy direction, haven't seen the zeal of the people. Actually, this is one sector that is people driven in terms of funding, in terms of participation. Now, across the world, in the digital space, if you have 10, actively 6 of them are Africans. In that 6, 5 out of 6 are Nigerians. So, when people were excited that Mark Zuckerberg visited Nigeria, they felt this was just for the photo ops. They know that the future of telecom, in terms of production, in terms of design, production, market, is Nigeria.
Some would say that it maybe has to do with the market, the numbers of people Nigeria has. Is that the major factor why Nigeria is usually a target for these companies?
I was in Kigali between the 18th and 22nd of December, went for a training. And normally my style, I go into universities. I was University of Kigali, University of Rwanda, and the Adventist University, I think that's UNILAC. Now, one thing I realized is that it's not just about the number, it's about the interest, the participation. When you interact with students and then find out about the activity on social media, especially the educative angle, here in Nigeria, out of every 10 students, 9 of them are active. But let me shock you. In University of Rwanda, I realized that it's just about the 10 that I discussed with, just about 4 or 5 were active. So the thing is that apart from the fact that we have the number, Nigerians are engaged. That defines the market.
That's interesting, I must say. Let's talk about something that stood out from our own point of view, people who, monitor this sector. Towards the end of the year, we saw the turnaround of policies regarding cryptocurrency. You will recall that in the year 2021, there was a lot of conversation around whether or not crypto was it, and lots of regulations around it. Bearing the fact that we had also seen some other countries accept it and even make it their legal tender, countries such as El Salvador. But then there's been a turnaround. How much of an impact will that have on the tech industry?
Huge. Well, we were making some noise that Mefiole's team were not really following the facts on ground, research that was made available. Because the truth is, cryptocurrency of a truth it's risky, but you see, every new invention, every new innovation that has been accepted in the market comes with its own risk. The truth is, you see, if you look at cryptocurrency, you may notice the wild trends. Those wild trends are simply because it's decentralized. Now, for Cardozo's team to think it right, to accept what is in the market, the reality in the market, the future of our currency is not fiat, is digital. Now, let me just use this opportunity to draw an analogy. You see, when the old world were crying out that development and growth, they weren't seeing it. Vasco da Gama and the likes, they discovered the new world and growth and development came. Now, our time, we have Elon Musk, and Mars is an opportunity for us. Because for now, we're feeling we've maxed out growth and development, especially in this area. But the new world, the virtual world, on the other hand, too, this presents to us opportunities to, further optimize our growth and development. So, for us as Nigerians, let's just create the enabling environment and exploit cryptocurrency. 10 years down the line, fiat currency may become history.
I am very curious, Prof. You talked about the new world. And for many Nigerians, that may sound like, jargons. What do you mean by the new world? I mean, there's a lot of talks and conversations around acquiring even landed property on the alternate universe.
Yeah.
As someone who is a professional in that area, can you explain what this alternate universe means for the benefit of our viewers who are wondering what this even means?
Okay. I'm fond of veering off most times in my class in the University of Abuja because I have to prepare their minds. You have an email, right? I'm going to make it as simple as possible for our viewers to understand. You have an email?
Yeah, I'd love you even make it that simple.
Simple, okay. And I may suspect that you have at least 2 emails, right? Could I push the envelope? 3 emails. Good. I believe you're on Gmail. Are you on Yahoo? Don't
Yes.
tell us, just you're on Yahoo. Now, Gmail is a world of its own. Your email locates your estate in that world. We're already experimenting with the virtual world with the email, your virtual address. Now, you're also on another planet called Yahoo. Your address circumnavigates your estate where you stay. Now, you see, the virtual world, when you bring it up, a lot of people think it's this gadget that you put on your face, and that is outdated for now. Now, tomorrow's world is interesting. What I'm wearing, it's a pair of glasses, but you actually have one that you can put on your eyes directly, contact lens. Now, the virtual world is a real world. It is different, is distinctively different from this world where if the law permits me, I could stand up and touch you. You could feel the touch. But in the virtual world, there's another world that we're crystally developing that has its own economics, has its own physics, has its own geography, and its own politics. For instance, when I tell students that by the year 2000, robots, AI, they will demand their own country. I'm like, how is that possible? I said, yes, it's going to happen. Because they are slaves to us right now. I'm going to AI. They are slaves to us. We make them do what we want. But they are also emotionally gathering information about us, just as the slaves in the Caribbean, in the American, how they were doing. They're gathering information about their masters, and then they made up their mind. They understood their emotions and knew how to take advantage and demand their freedom. The same way it's going to happen. So virtual world is real. Buying an estate there, the earlier you buy, the better. That's the virtual world. But there's another world that is real. That's mass. For instance, mass has supported life. Mass can also support economy, has its own currency. Mass can. And the truth of the matter is that, thank God for what Elon Musk and the likes are doing. They're making traveling to such worlds easier. Right now is a lot of money, but 10, 20 years down the line, to be easy, just like hopping into a plane to go to Lagos. Let me use our own client. So the virtual world is real. You can transact. Right now, it seems fuzzy, but it's real. We're developing, we're advancing, but it's real.
We're talking about transactions.
Yep.
I also understand that, there's a lot of conversations around, fintechs, banks, and financial institutions developing a stable coin, which is a CGCN, I believe, which is supposed to launch sometime this year. Yeah. How much of an effect or an impact would that have? Bearing in mind that you will recall we had the e-Naira, which has not really gathered as much acceptance as was expected. But putting together or juxtaposing the e-Naira and this stable coin that we look forward to launching, what do you foresee for the year 2024? Okay,
thank God you're recording this. Make reference to it later that I said so. 2024 to 2026, it's going to be a roller coaster in digital space. And I just dropped something that fiat currency will be history in 10 years' time. In fact, 10 years is even too long. It's going to be history. Because most of the economic problems we have is attached to fiat currency, just like national economy. You can go to my blog, Microeconomics of the Virtual World, and see some of the just one-page publications I've released. Okay, so going forward, you see, the e-Naira is suffering this setback because of culture, not because of science, not because of economics. Now, what do we have to do? Like I teach my students, when I ask them, okay, what gives 1,000 Naira note, what gives it the power that it so exudes? Most of them ignorantly say it's the government. I said, no, it's the people, because you accepted it. If you don't accept it, it will lose its power. You will not be in prison for not wanting to use it. Now, going forward, when it comes to the e-Naira, it's for the people to understand its essence. It's simply because for now, in the larger population in the rural area, and the transactions in the formal economy is still cash bias.
Digital inclusion.
So virtual banks or fintechs, for instance, I'm not supposed to mention their name because I'm not going to market for them, but I have my salary only goes to one of the traditional banks. But once it hits, I move it to the virtual bank. I prefer the virtual banks. You have your e-statement, you can move, you can save, you can fix. I mean, things are at your convenience. So going forward, fintech is the banking culture of tomorrow. Traditional banks are just holding the turf for now, but history prescribes that they will lose that turf over time. Because as we are going forward, a lot of people are finding out that it is stressful going to the bank to go open an account. I can sit, an 18-year-old child can just sit, by the time he has his NIN, in the comfort of his house, he opens an account and can transact transparently. So in Nigeria, for instance, MTN, when they had operated in other climes before they entered Nigeria, but Nigeria became their cash cow and still is their cash cow. In Nigeria, once the government wakes up to take leadership in terms of e-naira, electronic currency, as it were, phasing out, because I can't imagine having to pay 150 naira or to spend 150 naira to produce 100 naira. It doesn't make sense. Forget about the politics and the corruption.
Unfortunately, our time is fast spent, Prof. But we hope to continue this conversation another time. What an insightful conversation around the digital economy within Nigeria, the global digital economy, and just how we can grow that sector within the 2024 time frame. Thank you once again, Prof, for joining us on the program this morning. And this is where we wrap up today's edition of the program. Do well to join us again, same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Chiamaka Enendu. Thank you for watching.